What is going on, Vic? Those intros are getting longer.
Longer. Yo! You know where this yo comes from? I don't think no one knows where this yo comes from.
I would love it if you could explain, because I'm kind of lost.
Well, you know, when you go through that rabbit hole, and sometimes I love watching, like, and I actually see this because I live in New York City.
Right.
You see, like, crackheads and shit, and you watch videos, like, they're like, yo!
Oh, yeah,
so that's
yeah.
Yo!
Just the more cracked out you are, the longer the
Yeah, exactly. But hey, Jack, before we get on what's on today's show, I got to give a special shout out to Dino. Because because one, I never met the guy personally. I know Jack and Dino hung out. They served together. I think Dino's still serving. What, 7 8 years on a boat together?
Like 40 years in.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely some gay sex on that thing. But anyways, we'll save that for another show. But
he's moving out here. He's moving out here too. So
is he?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, he said 5 to 7 years. But anyway, shout out to Dino. Shout out to helping the podcast out, getting it out there. We get a lot of followers, a lot of marketing. He does it just to do it. And I got friends that I grew up since I was 10 years old back home in Queens that, God forbid, they even follow the page.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks for that. Shout out to Dino. You got anything to say, or you want to just shoot straight
we just
into
roll
what's
on
on
into
today's show? All right, so Dino, he doesn't like you that much, man.
Nah, it's all right, though. So, topic of the day, we're going to be talking about the sacred Italian Sunday sauce.
Oh!
Yeah, we don't fuck around with that. Then we'll get into Hunter Biden and his recent leak. Little sneak preview. It's got a lot of crack. After, we'll go over New York City's nuclear PSA so you can stay safe.
It's only 3 steps. I mean, in the military, we trained years in case there was a nuke. I mean, hey, 3 steps. They saved the whole military training with 3 steps.
3 steps.
You don't even have to put mop gear on.
It's like the Green New Deal. Everything is just one page.
Yes. We'll add as we go. As you guys die, we'll add.
Honestly, there really is only one step, and it's kiss your ass. Goodbye.
Yes.
Because
goodbye. Well, let's hold on. Pump the brakes.
No, I know. Let's
save it for the end. But Jack, what do we got? What's your updates? How you been?
I haven't slept. I am on pure what is it called? Carbonated water, but with caffeine in it, because I've drank way too much coffee. I'm going to tear holes into my stomach.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not good for you, turns out. And I dropped my brother off at JFK, so he's off to Florida. And
which brother?
The Lucas.
Lucas. Okay, nice. What does he do? So, he's gonna rent a Ferrari.
He's gonna rent a Ferrari. He's got a boy down there. It's got connections.
Beautiful.
Found out the Knicks went for 20s down
20
south.
Down south. Yeah. 1980, but
yeah. So what about you, man? What's going on with you?
What about me? Obviously a pre-recorded show, but tomorrow it'll make 4 weeks I haven't had a cigarette, and I'm having like that urge. So I got to get into smoking a cigar at least once every 3-4 days. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard, but I do feel a lot better. I do. It's just hard because on my ride home, when I drive, because it's all a mental game. You get in the car, you smoke a cigarette. You get out of the car, you smoke a cigarette. During your car, if you pass this exit, it's like, oh shit, I normally have a cigarette right before I get to my house.
Yeah.
You time it. I got 10 minutes to go. So
that's how you get through a whole pack.
Yes.
Through the day is 20 instances in your life.
Exactly. Because when I used to smoke,
boom.
Boom. When I used to, boom. That was it. Because when I used to smoke, I'm like, wow, I would only smoke 5 a day. How do I smoke the other 15? All right, when I pass this tree, this exit, I'm going to get out. I pump gas at this gas station, but I'll go play lotto at this one because I had luck at it. So that's coming in, out of the car. That's another cigarette here and there. And you got to time everything, man. It's all about time.
So almost 4 weeks. I got to get you a 4-week
That's
chip.
crazy.
I got to get you a month chip.
Yeah, get me a month chip. Because the last time I quit, I tried quitting on season 1, I think it was. That only lasted like 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And then when I joined the military, I had no choice but to quit. It was 22 weeks I quit. And the first thing I did as soon as I touched freedom soil was smoke a fucking cigarette.
Right.
Like I couldn't wait to smoke a cigarette. I got
Quitting's
a haircut.
not for you. You're not a quitter.
No, don't be a quitter.
Don't do that.
I got a haircut obviously, as I do every week, 2 weeks. But my barber was on the phone with his wife, and he was sounding really mad. Like, he was extremely mad, and he was grabbing my head, and he's on the phone, and he's buzzing, and he's like pulling my head left, pulling my head right, slanting it, and buzzing hard. And if you know me, I have a very sensitive scalp because the military screwed that up for me. They shaved my head, and it burnt, and I actually got to go to the VA for that. But anyways.
Yeah, I seen it. It's not pretty.
Yeah, it's not pretty. I have scars.
I don't know how I got scars.
I don't know how I got these scars. My father. So, yeah. Ended up buzzing, and now they like ended the argument, and she didn't call. Then she starts calling. He's not answering. She calls him 10 seconds later. He's not answering. And now he's getting the straight blade. She calls again. He goes, let me just answer. And he gets on the phone, and now they start talking, and he's doing my fucking beard, and now he's getting in my throat. I'm like, dude, any minute I'm not dying at a fucking barbershop, but
yeah,
I didn't die. Obviously, I'm here.
Thank God.
Nice cut, brand new whip, got no keys. All right.
I got a funny little barber story of my own that was kind of fucked up like that.
Go ahead, shoot.
So we're in Italy, and my dad knows obviously everybody down there. Yeah.
Every time you say that, I'm playing
episode.
That. Yeah.
So I'm dying to get a haircut, but I want to go to his friend's place because it's obviously going to be at a discount, right? And I'm a Jew about it. I save my pennies.
A guinea?
I'm a guinea about it, I guess. Yeah. But so we're trying to go to this one place, and the guy's never available, never free. And then my dad just happens to walk down while we're walking down a block. One of his other friends. I didn't know this guy. He had like some corner store somewhere. I walk in. It's like it's a place where you think you could buy a $2 hooker. If you could, it's just the walls are like green and nasty and shit. And I'm like, here? And he's like, yeah, here. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So I sit down. The guy gives me the most fucked up haircut in my life. No line is straight. I'm bleeding on the other half of my head because the guy doesn't know how to use a razor.
Let alone it probably hasn't even been cleaned.
I don't know. I probably walked out of there with hepatitis. So, yeah. So and I look at my dad. I'm walking out. I'm like, dude. Gave me the worst haircut of my life. He goes, yeah, that's why I never go there.
Your dad, I mean, he goes, I'm not going there, but you got to get a haircut.
Yeah. So it's
but why wouldn't you get a haircut before you go? I'm just curious.
What do you mean?
Like before you go to Italy, don't you get a haircut, or this is during your 3-4 weeks there?
While I'm there.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, just shave it, bro. Just shave it.
I
have no problem shaving your head.
I do, but you know.
All right.
I go straight.
So we're ready to start the Sunday sauce?
Brother, let's get into it.
Oh! All right. Sunday sauce. I had to bring this up because I have a lot of...
It's very important to us guineas.
Yeah, it is. I never heard of this term gravy, right? We hear it growing up.
Oh.
I use sauce. All my friends use sauce. I had to do a poll on the sauce versus gravy.
Right.
But... the thing is, I wanted to share a Sunday sauce. Now, we're not, it's not Sunday, but Sunday sauce. Like, I want to know what Sunday sauce, because some people are like, what the hell is that? If you're not, you're not brought up traditionally, like we're first generations. Do you even know how to cook Sunday sauce?
Yeah, I guess it's like Taco Tuesdays for Mexicans or something.
Yes.
I don't know.
Taco, yeah. They don't do Taco Tuesdays, Mexicans. Oh, PSA. No, that's another American... That's an American thing. The Americans are destroying like actual
every tradition known to man.
We got the sauce Nazi, which are like Americans too. We'll explain.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna end it. Who calls it gravy? Why do they call it gravy? I think this is what we came up with, and we'll get into a percentage. But before we start, here, let me just knock this out of the way.
Yeah,
I did a poll. The results are in, obviously. 210 people voted sauce, 40 voted for gravy, which is still a lot.
40?
Out of 240 out of 250.
What the fuck?
So it was 84% sauce, 16% gravy. But that's crazy. I got 40 people that I got to stop talking to.
Hell's going to be more crowded than I thought.
Yes. All right. So let's get into it. Yeah. What Sunday sauce, you may ask? So Sunday sauce, to my understanding, with Jack and I being first-generation Americans, is there's a time where the family sits down on Sunday, we have our dinner. Usually it's around mid-afternoon towards the late. So yeah, it could be prepared between what, like 4, 5, 6.
By 4:35, that food better be getting.
It's on the table
done.
ready.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like, there could obviously be other options, but there's always going to be pasta with sauce.
Right.
That's just how you're going to open up to eating whatever whoever's cooking, your mother.
It could be everyone. The whole process takes a family.
Yes. And Sunday sauces, it's always been a ritual. I've always had it, and we always sat down, eat it. I never called it gravy, though.
It was always the time, I think, where once a week, everybody was allowed to just take shit off of their chest and, like, shit on the person across the table from them. Because it always got loud, and it was funny. We all rag on each other. My dad would always be famous for, making fun of us. And,
it's a tradition you're supposed to. Yes, exactly.
For dysfunctional people.
Dysfunctional people. But it's also, I mean, you should sit down with the family, especially if you have kids on a Sunday, and eat. I mean, that's a tradition I would love to keep.
But there's a lot of different ways to make it, man. There's a lot of different ways to make it.
There is. But Sunday should always be a time where the family, unless, it's football season, then that's a little different. So, Miss Scusi. No, I'm kidding. All right, so how do you cook sauce? Jack, how do you cook your Sunday sauce? Because I know you and I got it a little different, but we're pretty much, at least we make our own sauce. You understand?
All right, so I have a confession.
Oh, boy.
I haven't made sauce in years.
Okay.
I have been buying canned, like the fucking prepared.
God, you fucking American.
I'm telling you, hell's gonna be. Well, you didn't put a whatchamacallit, a poll out for who makes their own sauce versus who just goes and buys.
That poll would be like 5 people that make it and 240 that would just buy ragu from Seatown.
The rest of the people got fucking lives.
It doesn't take that long, though.
Depends. It depends. All right, because you want to go old school, you have to squash the tomatoes in this fucking. You have to.
I'm not. No. Time out.
Okay. See,
I'm not saying fucking go to the fucking jungle, get tomatoes, fucking walk 5 miles in barefoot, bring it to your house.
The tomatoes come from the jungle.
Yeah, they don't come from but go to the fucking garden. You know what I meant?
Because I'm talking about in New York City, you didn't see any concrete. Yards where people in New York City, I remember this all the time in Queens, you'd have a plot of dirt that was like 10 by 10, but they still managed to plant fucking tomatoes and goddamn hanging eggplants and shit. They can open up a goddamn sprouts out of their fucking apartment from what they're growing in their little yard in the back. Yeah, man, people go all the way. Used to anyway, in my circles.
I should have verified this a little better. I should have prepared the question a little better. What I meant was, I buy tomato canned sauce, but it's not seasoned. Like, it's just pure tomato.
Right.
I got to put the salt, the pepper, the onions, the garlic, the secret stuff I'm going to talk about.
The secret stuff.
I got to do all that. That's what I meant. That's not secret.
I just call it love.
More people know. Yeah. That's what I meant. I didn't go fucking spend my whole fucking Sunday boiling up tomatoes and then pouring. No, I did that once. I did that a few times when I was a kid when my grandfather used to do it. Rest in peace. But
I'm telling you, there's still people out there that do that stuff, man. But
so you don't make sauce?
I don't make sauce. All right, so I buy sauce that is there's different brands of sauce, and I've done my homework and I've tried a bunch of them. Put it this way, it's not like it's Campbell's fucking tomato sauce, but I get some good Rouse or something along the lines of like Bertolli or something like that. Something that you can recognize. Something you could recognize as a good sauce. And it's not, I mean, dude, it ain't, these ain't back in the days where there's nothing to do, man. I can't be fucking squashing tomatoes and shit. I just throw a can in, boil it, for 15, 20 minutes and then call it a day.
So your sauce is already seasoned?
Yeah, if I want to put more, I do. I usually do, though, because I choose to go for sauces that aren't heavily pre-seasoned. I like to be able to say I did some kind of cooking, and I'm not a fucking Progresso chef. You know?
But when you made sauce, Jack would use the potato to kill the acidity.
I'll still do that. I'll throw a potato in because a lot of
really?
people I know, I mean, everybody knows that tomato sauce is a little acidic. So you throw a tomato in and it pulls the acidity out of the. I still do that because there's still acidity in that shit.
Yes. But some people use sugar.
Oh my God.
I'm the sugar guy.
You're a sugar guy and I don't get it.
Yeah, but like, I don't get it. People, relax, take it easy. We're talking like a teaspoon of sugar you throw in there and you mix it. That kills the acidity and it makes the sauce not on the sweeter end, but I think it purifies it perfectly. And
personally, I think it just masks a little bit, but I don't think it eliminates like a potato is supposed to. Now, I'm not a fucking scientist, so I can't
You
trust
put a
the
whole
science.
potato or do you cut it in half?
I'll cut it in half, and then I'll eat it.
You put like two? Oh, okay,
And a pig foot?
Right, but I didn't get to explain to listeners how I make it. So, how I do it is, I take the pot, I put a little bit of oil. You don't want to start off crazy amounts of oil. Some people, I don't know, they use a lot of oil. It's literally just a nice thin layer of oil, right?
Yeah.
You already have your onions. That's the first thing you throw in is the onions because they're going to cook a little slower than the garlic. Have your garlic cut. I'm not going to get into measurements because, I don't know, I was never brought up on measurements. It was
what are
always,
those?
Yeah, it was always, hey, just this much, this. All right. So I take that. I throw it into the pot and you stir it up. Once everything gets golden brown, that's where you pour the sauce. You pour a little salt, a little pepper. I like to use red crushed peppers. But here's another thing.
Nice little touch.
So I'll actually add a little water to the can, like a third.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get all that sauce in there and then pour like a quarter of that third just to thin because you don't want that thick fucking sauce that's bubbling and it's just so thick. I like the sauce thin and all that. So
yeah, no, not me, buddy.
That's how I think. Now
I like it nice and thick.
Really?
Oh yeah.
No, I like it thin. It depends, especially with the seafood. It thin is always better.
With seafood, yeah, I could see that.
And then I use so Jack uses potato and I put a teaspoon of sugar and I stir and then you add a little more ingredients as you need.
Makes sense to me.
That's how I go. And then the sauce Nazi. So the Americans, see, this is for the Baba Americane.
Yeah.
They're the American Italian that go nuts. Like, I know people that, like, it'll be like Sunday. It'll be like it'll be like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll be like, oh, what time are we eating? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, we're not with family. It's just you and I.
Right.
He's like, yeah, but it's Sunday. We got to eat. Like, dude, take it easy.
Yeah.
Like, you come in a sauce Nazi. You don't even, first of all, I don't know if half those people can even say fucking 5 words in Italian.
Nah.
Second of all, they can't even cook. And then you're going to go like, oh, we got to eat dinner at fucking 3 o'clock. Like, I had friends like that. Oh, no, I got to go home. I got to eat dinner at 3. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday sauce. And I'm like, dude, your parents don't even know how to make sauce. Everything you buy is contained. The whole fucking pasta dishes, throw it in the microwave 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
This way. If you're on your way to Italy and you have to show them your American passport.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm dual citizen, so.
Me too.
Yes.
I don't have to show them. We got that. Sorry, I had a cough. We got that other passport. We don't just need the American one.
Yeah. But Jack, what do you got here? You got 1,500 things over here. Let's start reading them. Jack bitches out.
Oh, I apologize for what that
you're good.
looks
Just
like.
get to it.
So, this is back on the topic of sauce and gravy. I don't know if everybody knows, but there's a very big community of people that find the word gravy when used to describe sauce as very offensive. It's just, look, I know this is going to sound like those are not your friends. You don't need them. They probably put pineapple on their pizza. It's whatever. But my father-in-law kind of set me up with he calls me out of nowhere and goes, hey, bud, I got a question for you. And he asked me, as he switched me over to speaker, what do you think about Italians that call sauce gravy? And what I had said was something along the lines of, like, there's some 5th generation Neapolitan cousin fucking Yankee mobster wannabe shit. And but I didn't know he had me on speaker. He didn't say he had me on speaker. And he was at a Sunday dinner with his side of the family who exclusively call it gravy.
Yeah.
I heard, as soon as I was done, you could have heard a pin drop followed by at least, it sounded like an avalanche of screams. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And he just goes, thanks, bud, and then hangs up on me.
Set you up. See, now that should be the argument of the century, not a man who dresses like a woman who dresses like a man, because who gives a fuck about that? Is it sauce or is it gravy?
I don't give a fuck.
And it's clearly sauce. You can't stop calling it gravy. You call it gravy, you're fucking you're embarrassing it.
So it actually does have like a history. It comes from somewhere. The words come from somewhere. They don't just fucking appear out of nowhere. And the reason I called it Neapolitan was, it had in its origins. Anybody that says that it's gravy you can argue that by just simply following the word back.
Mm-hmm. So who calls it gravy and why? Yeah. I know you did some homework on this.
I did.
So I want you to explain to the listeners before.
All right. So I did a little bit of homework as well.
Flip out.
Yeah, I did a little bit of homework. So in 1902, an Italian woman described the sauce as gravy in the New York Tribune. Chef Boyardee canned his sauce. The old
Chef Boy, are we screwed?
Right, exactly. So that doesn't really necessarily mean anything on the top, but the origins of the word, the old French people called Angevins use the word Anjou. And I don't know if do you know what Anjou is?
I do not.
Okay,
I mean, I know because I'm looking at it, but at first I do not.
All right, so Anjou is a sauce that you dip a beef dip in. It's a sandwich made, French, right? And they called that fucking juice that comes off of the beef that they then add ingredients to and they dunk that shit. They call that Anjou. So then the French word Anjou went to Naples, and the Neapolitan people like to add fucking letters and words and take away letters and words, and it makes no fucking I guess, but goddamn it, like I love Italians, but you guys got some fucking weird ass dialects, and the word Anjou got transformed into the word gravu. Gravu, exactly.
Say that 10 times fast, you get gravy.
Gravy. Thank you.
Yes.
Sauce is Latin. It comes from the familiar word of salsa. So that's the Latin. Like, I'm sorry, but I like to tend to stick to the Latin, not the old French. Like,
yeah. Because you said they like to add words.
Yeah, letters and take away letters.
When I was young, I used to call a passport a passport.
Passport.
And I would always get made fun of. They're like, why are you saying it like that? I'm like, what are you talking about? That's how my mom says it. And they're like, no, it's passport. I'm like, no, it's passport. Oh, God. Was I raised like on a fucking farm or something?
No, man. And nobody else is going to understand this as, second, third, fourth generation coming from a different culture. They'll show up to the protests, but they don't know anything about culture.
Yeah.
So.
And what's crazy is because just imagine you're on like a Thanksgiving dinner. If someone said pass the gravy, because for me, for Thanksgiving, there's always baked ziti. There's baked ziti, there's turkey, there might be a little piece of fish, and hundreds of sides. So imagine on Thanksgiving, someone said, mushrooms. Pass the gravy. If you look down, I'm passing the brown stuff. Is some people going to pass the red stuff? That's just, I don't know.
Honestly, I really hope that this has been an eye-opener for you guys. And I know a lot of you people that call it sauce are going to go, yes, finally, someone said it. Or maybe not. Maybe you're going to go, these guys are talking about sauce and I'm done listening.
These guys are idiots. No, it's gravy. And I heard arguments, too. I've heard multiple arguments.
Yeah.
Gravy apparently has meat in it. No, that's bolognese or
ragu.
Maybe ragu, if you want to say it.
Unless it's thick ragu.
Yeah, and then I also heard arguments where I had a friend, like he voted on the poll, but he also sent the DM and he goes, no, man, it could be called both. Shout out to Jay. He goes, it could be called both. Sauce just takes quicker to cook, and gravy's more something where it takes longer. And if you use sugar, it's technically gravy. And I'm like, nah, what? It's not. I'm like, what?
How do you
sauce
do
takes
that?
30, 40 minutes.
I would love to see where he got that from.
I'm dying. Well, maybe we'll have him on one day.
I would love to know where he got that from.
Yeah, I could just DM. We don't got to do the Sunday sauce again.
But, no, we'll do an update. We'll just put it out real quick. It's like, hey, by the way, either I'm a fucking idiot, and Justin is, going to take my place.
No, Jay.
Sorry, Jay is going to take
Air
my
Force
place.
Guy.
Oh, he was on once, no?
Yes, he was
All
on
right.
season 1.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come on season 2, but he ended up getting stuck on the toilet, he said. But Jack, are we ready for the news?
Let's do it.
Jack, what do we got?
All right. Hunter Biden's iCloud account was hacked, and no one was surprised. Honestly, seriously.
Come on, man.
If you're using iCloud to store your personal shit, you can't be surprised anymore when that shit gets out. Like, let's be 100% honest. They've been hacked more times than, I don't know, Hillary Clinton. I don't know.
Why you fuck me? I fuck you.
So, huge amount of videos came out that during the leak, and Google was doing their hardest. And you could see a bunch of screenshots of Google searches looking for Hunter Biden's laptop new leak, and nothing coming up. Yeah, nothing was coming up.
That's so crazy, this fucking world. If that would have been Trump's fucking son, that would have been the only thing on that fucking TV until next election.
For at least, well, I mean, it would at least be headline news for the next 6 months.
It would be every day, 20 minutes.
Are you guys okay
on
with
every
that? Like
morning, afternoon, and night.
I have to ask. I mean, maybe we could do another poll later, but I have to ask: is everyone okay with that? Is everyone okay with our government being that
one-sided?
influential? No, but just that influential. I don't care what it that. I care that even if it takes a side, it has the power to affect the space that we take up on the internet, right? Like our internet lives. Like we all have our lives during reality, right? I got kids, wife. But our presence on the internet, all my accounts, my social media presence, which I know I don't really have much, but I mean, if I could get canceled, deleted, fired for what I can type on Facebook, I feel like that's just as much a part of my reality, my real life, as it is just something I go and I type up on. So I have to ask you guys, if you're still listening, are you okay with the government having that much power over your life?
Some people are not going to understand this question. That's the thing. Because they don't have power themselves.
They
think the government is there to assist them. Like, it's just so weird. We're going to derail.
No, it could be.
The thing that I don't get is, listen, I don't care if you're not even a Trump fan or you're not even a voter. You don't have to support Trump or, his vote
not at all
when it comes to election. But you got to understand that if this was his kids or even third cousins, that this would be all over the media.
Right.
And the fact that it's not, that this is proof you cannot look and trust the media.
No. And
you cannot.
If
you are probably a firstborn child that never had siblings or never got slapped in the face, and anything that comes our way is just, you're going to deny it because you're just an ignorant idiot and you don't want to get with the program. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, I understand you 100%. I mean, they're the friends of the Dems. They get a blanket of protection, and they do and say whatever they want. They live these rich and carefree fucking lives in every way, while the average person has to be careful not to misgender somebody, or they might get fucking fired.
Like that guy in Canada, he his 10-year-old daughter wanted what do you call that? She's doing the sex change, so to stop the hormones, and the guy goes, "She's 10. No, I don't want you to do this."
Right.
And then the doctor I think ended up doing it, called the police, and now he might face 10 years because, one, he misgendered his 10-year-old.
Right.
And offended her.
But did you see the wife?
And he won't let her fucking take these hormone blockers that are possibly going to kill her by the time she's fucking 30, because when she turns 30, her body's going to feel like she's fucking 70 already.
Maybe. I don't personally know, but I saw the wife of this person. You could already see where all of that psycho shit comes from.
Her hair was pink.
Dude, it might as well have just it. And yeah, dude, we got to protect our kids, man. We got to protect our kids. And
Protect
a lot of times,
yep.
You know, enemies foreign and domestic. But yeah,
what else we got?
The videos of Hunter Biden, in case, let's get back on, let's get back to the videos.
All right, let's get back to shitting on Hunter.
The video show Hunter living his best fucking life, right? All the Parmesan in the world, hookers, guns,
By Parmesan,
money.
We mean crack.
I mean crack cocaine. That man, come on.
That's not my son.
So I mean, I got a couple of pieces of mail here. The Daily Mail reported Hunter Biden may face federal prostitution charges for bringing the 3 escorts from Boston to New York for a fun night. I mean,
yeah,
be pretty shitty if you had a bad night with 3 hookers. I don't know why that needed to be in quotes. That may actually classify as a federal offense. The fact that they had to put may in there surprises me. Transporting prostitutes across state lines, Hunter's escorts often have ties to which country? Russia.
Oh.
His father. God damn it! This man cannot remain in power. So all the websites are really
everything
pushing.
you need is in front of you, and people are still going to deny it. And that's whatever. It's because the media controls what gets denied and what does not get denied. So
absolutely, but
people will wake up. 2023 is going to be a hell of a fucking year, bro.
There's no way he can run.
It's going to be a hell of a year.
I dove into this story and I looked up how much money Joe Biden was sending.
The big guy?
Yeah, the big guy. I was looking up how much money the big guy was sending the little guy.
So big.
You know, in 1 month, I saw it as from December 2019. No, December 20. Let me get the.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Okay, here. December 18 to January 19. Biden sent $100,000.
So in 1 month.
That's exactly.
Were you trying to trick our listeners? We're all smart over here.
That's what do you understand? That's what the Washington Examiner put. Yeah. Not in 1 month.
But that's not their money. These are all like you constantly donating to these idiots. Yeah. They brainwash half of them because people do wake up. Trust me.
Yeah.
I had a lot of, and like I said, we're not. I don't care where you come from. If you're a good person, you're a good person. If I can fuck with you, I can fuck with you. If we can go out, have a drink, go out, have a steak, I don't care. I have a lot of friends that have totally different political views. But most of the friends that were different from me are now on, they're 100% not voting for Biden. They rather would vote for a Republican and fix this world because the Democrats are killing everything.
Literally. I mean, okay.
Literally.
I'm just going to tie up that little piece with this. Our president has funded Russian prostitution. Inadvertently
gave China gas.
No, that he did directly. The Russian president, our president has funded Russian prostitution through his son inadvertently with, crack and plenty of other drugs that I'm assuming were going on at the time. He sent oil to China in the middle of the highest gas price hike I've ever seen. I've never seen gas this high. He sent $40 billion to Ukraine just cause.
I think more now.
Plans on sending 7.
Okay, plans
on sending another 7.
Yeah, he just sent like $880 million the other day just to, I don't know, God knows what.
Meanwhile, so he's sending all this money. Meanwhile, every single one of us is paying about $8,000 more a year to live due to all this inflation and everything.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. That is true.
All of this, by the way, just the tip of the iceberg to come. Because now New York City's putting out PSAs on fucking nuclear warheads hitting.
Yes, but before you get into that, I wanted to say, before we get into New York City nuclear, pay attention. Before we get into that, I wanted to add one more thing to this Biden thing. Because, everyone, stop the border. We don't need the border. We shouldn't be separated. He's putting, I don't have the total amount, but our money, obviously.
Yeah.
He's building now a Ukraine border to stop Russia from coming through. Just so you know.
But the walls don't work, though.
But exactly. So why are we doing this? If it didn't work from Mexico to us, See, that's you gotta be stupid. If you vote for this guy, you just gotta be a fucking idiot. I'm sorry if I lose friends.
I hope he runs.
If I don't really talk to you like that, I don't give a fuck.
I hope he runs.
But you gotta be a moron.
Yeah.
To revote this guy. 2/3 are not revoting for Biden.
Right.
The other third, they gotta be fucking on the spectrum or something.
Either that, or there's just that many people that are just indoctrinated into this whole we gotta vote blue, we gotta vote for him.
Yeah.
He gave us these EBT cards.
Get into this nuke shit.
Oh.
All right, what do you got for the nuke?
I thought you said new shit. You had me waiting on something that you said. So a PSA goes out for New York City. Me and Vic, or Vic and I, we pre-checked it out, but we want to break it down for you guys. So, Vic, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, well, here's the start of the commercial. Here's the intro.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Yes. Don't ask me how or why. Just know that the big one has hit, okay? So what do? There are 3 important steps that I want you to remember.
Well, I broke them down,
yeah.
Right? I broke them down from intro and then the 3 steps. So the first few things, I love this. All right, there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask how and why, all right? That's not your job, all right? Yeah. Just know we're going to tell you when there's a nuke, and I want you to follow these steps. Are you out of your fucking mind? Don't ask how and why.
Yeah. Don't ask why there's a giant sign that says "From Russia" on the fucking missile.
Wow, I was on the I-495 heading to the Hamptons. I see fucking a fucking Putin sign commercial.
Everybody, there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me any questions. I'm just a woman.
Yes, I'm just a woman. I don't know anything. What bothers me is look what they're doing right now. You understand? Look what they're preparing you for if you keep voting blue.
Yep.
Because this is not going to happen under anyone else.
Bro, imagine this would have went off when Trump was it like this would have been playing.
This would never happen. This would never. Everyone feared you. You fear leaders.
But
so that's part 1.
I feel like this could be beneficial because it's been a long time since the whole get under your desk. So there's got to be some progress, right?
I can't wait until they say where. Yeah, I can't wait until they go, make sure you wear your dollar COVID mask during the nuclear explosion. But I want to play it again. Let me play the intro real quick again.
The intro.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me how or why. Just know that the big one has hit.
The big one has hit.
So what do? There are 3 important steps that I want you to remember.
All right, so let's go through these 3 important steps.
I stand bum. Let's see what you do.
Yes. I'm going to play, okay. Let the Americans hide under the desk. All right, let's go. Step 1. This is what this woman, our New York City broadcaster, wants you to know.
Step 1, get inside fast. You, your friends, your family, get inside. And no, staying in the car is not an option. You need to get into a building and move away from the windows.
Step 1. So get inside fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, get inside your girl fast or your neighbor if you're single because you're dead. You're fucking dead. That's the only thing you need to get into fast.
I want to see the person that hits the lock on the car.
I guarantee you, half of Williamsburg is going to be in the fucking basement where they store their fucking bicycles. And they're all going to be with their hands crossed like, okay, guys, what's really happening here, man?
Yo, the fact that there's any other steps after this, because like you said, I mean, look, it's New York City. There's buildings. If there was an explosion of nuclear proportions, if there's buildings standing, I'll be amazed. I'd be amazed. I mean, depending on where it hit, there might be a little bit of like, the northern
It's like
side.
A domino effect too. It's not like New York City is like one building and then 2 miles down is another building.
It's dominoes, baby.
You hit one building and that one building falls. That's crushing a half a block to 4 block radius.
Russia's filming a live TikTok of knocking down buildings like dominoes.
They're gonna use the time lapse. This could take
something.
forever, but time lapse make it 7 minutes quick, short on time.
What a
Suka.
fuck. That's funny. Oh, man.
Yeah, so step 1, get inside.
Go
get
home.
inside very fast. And don't hang out in your car.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what step 2 is.
Step 2, stay inside. Shut all doors and windows. Have a basement? Head there. If you don't have one, get as far into the middle of the building as possible.
Wow.
If you were outside after the blast, get clean immediately. Remove and bag all outer clothing to keep radioactive dust or ash away from your body.
All right, that was a lot to take, but it was so the first one was stay in. The second one is the first one was get in fast. The second one is stay in. No shit, Dick.
Yeah. Do you realize that was way longer than it needed to be? This woman clearly likes to hear her voice because the first, I don't know, half of what she said was step 1 again.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a reiteration, just for the idiots that are actually listening to this. And it's like, yeah, if you don't have a basement, then how about this? If you didn't vote, if you voted against the Second Amendment, then why don't the people just go ahead and just take your basement?
Yeah, well, I mean,
and the food that came with it, because there's people that are pre-planning this, right?
I know plenty. I know definitely right now one person that made the mistake of telling me he's a prepper and does not believe in firearms for shooting at other people. So he's got like hunting rifles and shit. I told him, in case of an emergency, I'm coming to Ohio and you're dead. Your family are dead, and I'm taking your shit.
Well, I'm not going to shoot you, man. So
but it's
do what you got to do, man.
It's The Walking Dead
God
out there
will have
now.
you.
Like now you're
you're fucked. And there's people out there too.
Yeah, it's gonna be me, you, and Dino just running the world. Like that's
No, there's a lot. We'll be a lot of people. Step. What are we on? 3? This is the last.
Step 3. After you stay inside again.
Step 3. Stay tuned. Follow media for more information.
Yes,
Don't forget to sign up.
Get your plug-in.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
And don't go outside until officials say it's safe.
Oh man!
All right, you've got this.
I gotta play step 3 again before people are like, no. See, they were talking. They didn't want you.
Yeah, no, you might have.
So here's step 3 again.
Uh-huh.
Step 3. Stay tuned. Follow media for more information. Don't forget to sign up for Notify NYC for official alerts and updates. And don't go outside until officials say it's safe. All right? You've got this.
Yes, the same officials last week you said don't fucking trust.
I would have died laughing if right at the end she went, and Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yes. Yes, stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter, Google, Chrome, and make sure you listen to the UnFollowVic podcast before you die.
We'll keep you informed of how to spend the last 2 minutes of your life.
So here are my steps.
Yeah, please.
Here are my steps. My step is grab whatever alcohol you have left, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're a beer drinker, a wine drinker, cognac, bourbon, whatever you got alcohol-wise, go ahead and fucking got them. I will be going back to smoking if I'm dying. So smoke them if you got them, right? That was a military term. And if you have a wife, obviously you know what you're doing. If you don't have a wife, and or call your booty call.
If you have
call your booty call over, right? Tell her, call your booty call over and be like, hey, listen, I'm making dinner and there's something I wanted to tell you all along, right? Because nothing's going to get her to your house quicker than to be like, I have to tell you something and I should have told you all year long, because she's like, oh my God, is he really going to like pop the question? And it's like, no, you're still a booty call.
Yeah.
But in her mind, she thinks you're sealing the deal.
See, for me, I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do in the 5 seconds after the giant flash, before the giant heat wave of death hits me.
What do you have? Like? Yeah, you're gonna see the flash, and I think you got until about 4 Mississippis to fuck, eat, drink. Not according to Biden, though. You better have your COVID mask on. You'll be fine.
Oh man, all this in the best, strongest economy. I love this shit, dude. I honestly love it, man. This podcast, I love having you guys listen in. I love, just doing this brings me deep sadness, because I always have to talk about negative shit.
Yes. But we try to make it fun.
But hey, we do it with a smile.
Yes. But hey, Jack, we have something new to the podcast I'll be doing every week now moving forward.
All right.
It's my fantasy football. I mean, usually I used to do Vic's Monday pick.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of DMs, and they're like, hey, you good with fantasy? I said, I'm all right. I'm first, second place normally, top 5. And they're like, yo, do you mind giving us some pointers and tips? So I figured the season starting September 8th, and I guess everybody should be picking a week prior to that. I got about 5 more weeks to give everyone some tips.
All right.
So let's get into that. Boom. Here we go. So my PSA. So I figured I'd do a few draft tips. First off, these are all my opinions. These are the way I conduct myself when I pick my fantasy players and how I set up my fantasy draft. So in a sense, this is just to keep you game ready. I mean, like I said, my opinion, right? All right. So let's start from the core, right? I'm not going to get into news, notes, quarterbacks and trades yet, but we got to get into the core. We got to grab into how this happened. So on this day, everyone grabs a beer, gets some food, have your computer roll, and give your thing an update. So the first thing is know your league rules, right? That's the first thing you want to know. You want to know what you're getting into, as in full PPR, half PPR. What are those? Those are points per reception. So if you have full PPR, usually you want to draft at a different level. Your wide receivers, your running backs get high points because everyone's looking like, oh, it's only 0.5 to 1 point. Yeah, but if they get 17 targets and catch 13, that's 13 points versus 6.5. That's an extra 6.5 points on top. So, yeah, know your rules. That's step one, full PPR, half PPR. Then you want to know the quarterback. Is the quarterback getting 4 or 6 points every touchdown pass? Commonly, it's 4. I think that's standard. I think that's all across every league that I've been in is usually 4. But depending on what league you're in, sometimes quarterbacks do get 6 points per pass. Who are your starters? What I mean by that is traditional leagues, they have the one quarterback, the 3 wide receivers, the 2 running backs, a flex, a kicker, defense. So know your positions in your league. You want to see if they have 2 flex, if they have a super flex, if they have 2 quarterbacks, no defense, kicker, or yes, we do have defense and kicker. Thirdly, you want to know your the way they draft. Is it a snake or is it an auction? All right, I've never done an auction league, so I can't really speak on that. I know commonly when I redraft, it's a snake, which means depending on how many people are in your league, which is the next tip, it could be 1 through 12 and then 12 through 1 back to 1 through 12. So it snakes around just like a snake. So if you weren't first and you're last, now you're last, you become first. Here's a very important rule. Know how many people are in your league. I've never played with a league with 8, but I've played in leagues with 10, 12, and 14. So that's key. Because if you're playing with 10, you have a better chance of picking up more heavy hitters. If you're playing with 12 and 14, now it becomes where you got to have, you have to have strategy.
It's like slim pickings.
Yes. Here's the other step. It's what's the draft date and time? And, you want to know how much time you have left on that clock. Because obviously you want to know the date you're drafting so you can set yourself up, and you want to know the time so you can be on time. And then you want to know how many seconds you have on the clock, because 30 seconds I think is a little too low. Even a minute. I like a minute to about a minute and a half to have your pick, because eventually it does get hard down the line. I mean, everyone knows who they're picking the first 2-3 rounds, and then after that it becomes strategy and all that.
Who gets COVID?
And last on that,
who's injured?
Yeah. So last on that tip, knowing your league rules, is know how many bench players you have and know how many IR spots you get. That's a hit or miss, because I have one league where you only get 1 IR, and I think you have 4 bench, versus the other league I get 3 IRs and 5 or 6 bench. So know that. All right, so on draft day, make sure your phone, your computer, your tablet is all updated, ready to go. You have your application if you use your phone. Your desktop is up to date. Grab a snack, grab beverages. I still use the pen and pad method. I write everything down. And when you write everything down, don't write it down 2 weeks ahead of time. Write it 1 to 2, even 3 days before your draft, because things change every week. You know, when I use my pen to paper, I have three sheets of paper. On page 1, it's quarterback, tight end, sleepers, and special teams. On page 2, it's my running backs. On page 3 is my wide receivers. So that first tip, make sure you write them down 1 to 3 days. Secondly, as you break them down, the pages, you're going to list them. Put the team next to them. Put the bye week next to them. Put an empty column and a side note. Because nothing's worse than, you know, like let's say you pick a wide receiver on the team. You don't want their other wide receiver. If you have the wide receiver 1, you really don't need the wide receiver 2. You want to keep volume and depth on your team. You want to try to grab another wide receiver 1, or if you grab another wide receiver 2 from a different team and their wide receiver 1 goes down, now you have 2 wide receiver 1s. Gabish?
Yeah.
Know the bye weeks. And then, like I said, when it's draft day, sign in early. Make sure you get there. Make sure you have all your papers in front of you. I have people that they'll sign in the minute of, and then they're screwing around. And you can tell they don't do their homework. But for me, it's a free donation. So get familiar with the webpage and stuff like that. Cue your players. That's another tip. Cue your players. Cue them in the order you want to pick them. So don't put all running backs in one, all wide receivers one. Cue them as you would like to pick them. Rank them. And then you start in players. So like I said, you have, usually it's 10. You got 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running back, 1 tight end. That's the way I play. 1 flex, 1 defense, 1 kickers in this case. You don't overpick. You know what I'm trying to say? We're going to get into that. Bench tips. You don't need a second tight end, a quarterback. You don't need a second defense. You don't need a second kicker. I don't know who these crazy people are. They'll pick 2 or 3 quarterbacks. It's like, what are you doing? You just disabled half your bench. Go out there, pick your starters. Leave the defense, the kicker for last. And if you don't get a great tight end off the bat, like if you don't get the top 3 tight ends, which I believe this year is going to be Kelsey, Mark Andrews, and Kittle, if you don't get those 3, then screw it. Forget about the tight end. Go out there and build on your running backs. You know, you want to have, if you have 5 to 6 bench spots, you want to have 3 to 4 extra running backs. Those are the positions where they get hurt. Then I have another rule called spread them. When I say spread them, I don't mean don't pick a quarterback wide receiver. What I mean is, like, there's a few people that actually have that chemistry. You know, you have Brady and Evans. You have Josh Allen, Diggs. Maybe this year you're going to have Carr and Adams. That's a maybe. You know, try to spread them around. Don't try to pick a lot of people like a quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver from the same team. That makes absolutely no sense. Last year I did it. I had Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson, but it worked out for me because those were the 2 dependable, you know, TD guys. Mm-hmm. So it's, if one's not scoring, the other one is, even though Thielen was fucking amazing. But, just remember that. Annotate it on that list I spoke about on the note. If you pick Dalvin Cook, maybe you want to, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, that's a good mix-up. But one, you know, it's only going to happen one or the other. It's not, both of them are not going to have the most exciting game. You understand? And then, so that's it. Those are the first rules, some tips. Like I said, next week I'll be covering the notes on how to draft from some positions, and then we'll do some quarterback breakdowns. So yeah.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty intense. That's for football lovers. That's for football fantasy winners right there. Go back, listen to it at half speed, write everything down.
Yeah. My bad. We're just getting into it, baby. I'm too excited.
No, it was perfect.
I'm not a broadcaster. But Jack, what do you got? We got a great episode today.
We always have great episodes. I'm sure our listeners would agree. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Get under a table, into a building. And just continue to be the most amazing people that you can be, you know?
Yes. And, check us out. We're available everywhere besides Pandora. But, make sure you have a COVID mask during a nuclear explosion because that's what's going to help you.
Oh, yeah.
And tune in next week.
Peace.
Peace.